Welcome, everybody. It is the local pundit, except there's no Josh because a few of us decided we're going to steal the keys and run the show how we want. And there's nothing he can do about it. All right. Everybody, how we doing? All right, let me bring the boys in. Ken, Patty, hop on in. There we go. All right.
We've got the keys to the kingdom.
Yes.
And it's a truth session.
We're here to air all the dirty laundry, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Actually, we're just going to talk about where everybody's at right now, what the playoffs are looking like, what the race for promotion's looking like, and we'll see what we come up with. Patty's got some good stuff. See some bunch of people already in the chat. I know we had to push it a few times. Patty's fighting a war.
That was my fault.
Patty's fighting a war.
I might need a new computer.
I reckon there was entertainment. There was a show right there, just sitting there watching Paddy trying to get his computer to work.
Yeah, it was worth.
Actually, you know what? It might have been funny if you had just gone live.
Probably would have been. But I have a feeling you wouldn't have found it so funny, Paddy.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, it depends how funny Josh would have found it, because I was throwing a few fucks out there.
Well, boys, we're here. It's like 12 games left for us, 13 games left for Birmingham, 11 games left for some other teams. It's starting to get to the pointy end. If it was a 400-meter race, we've probably got about 150 meters to go.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting now as we're rounding the bend.
Yes, getting to the business end.
This is the fun part of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, what do we want to do tonight? Do we want to go through? I mean, I would like to talk about where I think the teams will finish. I think, Paddy, you've got a great stat coming up, as always.
Yeah, we can have a good discussion on what we feel the teams will do, who's going to fall away, who might make a charge and stuff like that. And I just have a couple of my little graphics that might help show with the data where people are likely to end up.
Well, could we get the easy one out of the way and make John Merrill very happy and say we all agree that Birmingham's going to win the league?
Yeah. I don't know why he still comes on. I think it's just the
gloat.
Just a gloat, and I love it though. I love John.
I'm actually quite curious as to how soon we know mathematically that they've won.
Well, I think this
weekend it could be next month.
Yeah, it's got to be coming. It's got to be coming.
I think this weekend mathematically they can't miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then mathematically, I reckon it could be as close as 6 more games. In my opinion,
sounds about right. Yeah.
Probably.
They'll be dropping. They'll be dropping down as Wrexham ascend.
Well, considering we only have 12 matches left, if they get to 18 points ahead in the next 6 matches, it could be a lot sooner than that.
Yeah, it could be sooner.
They're 9 points ahead of Wycombe now with a game in hand, and 11 points ahead of us with a game in hand.
Yeah, so right now it's Wycombe they have to beat. That's 9. And 12-ish left, 13.
John says Barnsley at home on April 6th. He thinks
he's calling it. There we go.
That's what he's thinking. Is what it looks like.
Thanks, John.
Probably. Now you got to win some games though. You can't be dropping points to teams like Bolton. Come on,
you can't be just
John,
losing all the time.
In the mud this weekend. You guys are killing me.
And of all the teams they could have lost to do us a favor, John.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna lose to like Burton Albion or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Don't lose to somebody that's anywhere near us.
We'll do Ashley a favor and lose to Peterborough.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Posh are playing Wycombe this weekend.
Yeah,
Yes,
hoping they can do us a favor.
So who are you barracking for this weekend, Paddy?
Posh.
In that match?
Posh.
You're a posh. You might have your kit by then, or maybe not.
No. It's going to get stuck in customs for a week. Don't worry about it.
Bugger.
Yeah.
Bugger. Maybe you could spray paint a blue shirt for us, and just for the fun factor.
Yeah.
So
Now,
okay.
John,
Well, Wycombe are in second, boys. Do you want to use your table, Paddy, or do you just want to do it without the table, give your prediction, and then we bring that up later? What do you want to do?
let's hit the table. Let's just do
Paddy
it.
loves it. Paddy loves it.
Start with a couple of stats, and then you can say if you agree or not. Yeah. Okay. So first up, before we do that,
actually, Paddy, before you start,
yeah.
I'm just going to say I've got this vision of Paddy, the accountant, with the pocket protector, with a few pens, and he's in there and he's working away and he's doing his stats, and he's like, and he comes out for the lunch break and he gets to the coffee machine. He goes, guys, you should have seen the formula I just did for my latest spreadsheet. It really, it's amazing. And I've got it. Yeah. Anyway, okay, Paddy, where you go?
Okay. Do you want to know what I was looking at earlier? ELO rankings to use on football teams. So I need to implement some ELO rankings to predict matches and results.
Okay.
So that's what I was looking at today earlier.
Yep. Doesn't surprise me. I've been battening down for a cyclone, Paddy. For all of you that don't know, Cyclone Alfred is about 200 kilometres offshore and coming straight towards Brisbane, which is the capital of our state. 150 kilometre an hour winds, 100 mile an hour winds. It's all about to happen. But anyway, moving right along. I'm more interested in Wrexham right now. What do you got, Paddy?
Okay. This is a basic sheet that I did at the start of the season. These are average results over the last 10 seasons. So that predicts first place will be 96 points, second 91, bottom of the playoffs 74, survive relegation 48. Now, of course, that's average, meaning it can go higher or lower. Each season is different, but that's just a nice basic predictor.
So would you happily say Birmingham's going to break that 10-year average this year?
Well, we can have a look at the next sheet in a minute and see what it's predicting.
So
are we going high or low? And you can tell me whether you agree or not. And obviously, those stats can be broken by someone going on a run. So that's really the question: is who do we think can go on a run? And we can even look at some of their matches remaining. How many in the top 10?
I've got a list of. I broke down everybody in the top 10 other than Birmingham. Everybody else in the top 10, how many games left they have against other top 10 teams.
Yeah,
so
which can make a difference to
this
stopping
is
a
the
run.
local pundit team doing the homework for the local pundit family.
Yep.
Right, so that's just the basic stats I pulled up earlier in the season. So this one is current situation, and I have ranked teams based on points per match. So that has taken out games in hands and stuff like that, but it is still relevant to consider matches remaining because you have more points if you have more matches available. So Birmingham City on target for 106 points.
Yep. Currently on 76. Currently on 76 there, I see. Yeah. With 13 matches to go.
So look, no one's catching them. Simple as that.
No.
Very soon they're in the automatic playoffs if they lose every match remaining. Another couple of matches closer to the end of the season, and they'll be comfortably top 2. Early, very early.
Well, interesting on the current points, Paddy. Like Huddersfield's currently on 58 points in 6th place, which is 18 points behind Birmingham. So, and the next team's 7th, 57. So that means they're 19 points behind. That's 6 full wins for Huddersfield to even catch Birmingham if they just went and sat on the bench now for the next 6
matches.
Lost
every match.
Yeah.
So, guys, let's have a look at them. Let's go through it. Who do we think can make second? Who can take that auto spot? Obviously, Wycombe first. They're in there right now.
Yeah, Wycombe definitely in the hunt. They do have a harder run in than everybody else, though.
Yes, they do.
They got the most difficult run in of everybody in the top.
Well, your graphic that you provided to us, Aaron, Wycombe have got 7 games against top 10 against teams in the top 10 in their remaining 12 games.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Wycombe are going to finish 4th.
Okay. If you look at the moment, obviously we are chasing Wycombe. We are very close on the points per match now. They are at 1.971 for the season. We are at 1.912. And also on the predictor for the end of the season, Wycombe is at 91 points. This is below my average for the season. So just to have a look, like I said, it was... Oh, no, it's exactly 91. It's changed.
I don't think Wycombe's going to finish on 91 points. I think they're going to finish on less.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Very hard run in. I don't see them sticking to it. And I do think we have a shot of keeping our 1.9-ish.
Yep, currently on 67 points with 12 games to go. So, yeah, okay. I've got my number for them.
And the big one is we still have to play them.
Yeah.
So
one of the big ones.
Yeah.
Well, one of their big ones.
But
obviously, if we put a win on them, they're guaranteed losing 3, and it's losing 3 to us. So that's how we jump them if nothing else changes between now and then. But we have a good shot of being ahead of them by that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Real quick, I can give you a rundown of their schedule. Just pulling it up real quick.
Okay.
So they've got Peterborough this weekend. Then then their next game isn't until the following Saturday, which is us. Okay. So that's their first big one coming up. Then they've got Rotherham away, Huddersfield away.
Yep.
Then they're at home to Lincoln, home to Shrewsbury, then at Reading. Then they're at home to Stevenage. Then they're at Bolton, at Charlton, home to Charlton, at Leyton Orient, home to Stockport. So their last 4 games are Bolton, Charlton, Orient, and Stockport. That is brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely brutal. So let's put it this way. If they get that automatic spot, they fucking earned it.
They deserve it if they get it.
Absolutely earned it.
But I don't think they're going to get it.
No.
Sorry, Wycombe fans.
Yeah.
That's me. What about you boys? Where do you think they'll finish?
That's probably maybe. Well, I don't know.
I'm putting you on the spot, boys. I'm putting you on the spot.
I actually think they may still finish 3rd.
Yeah. 3rd or 4th. I actually think they'll manage. They'll have a hard time of it, but they're playing well. I think they'll pull some points.
Because here's the thing: if they win some of those games, they're against the teams that would be chasing them.
Yeah.
So
yes, correct.
So they're taking points away from the other teams that are trying to catch them. And right now they're, I don't have it right.
I just hope those splinters in your backside feel all right, Paddy, sitting on that fence. 3rd or 4th. Just saying.
I'm saying 3rd.
You said 3rd. I've said 4th.
Yeah.
I'm calling it.
All right. Okay.
Do it early. And then at the end of the season, we'll all be wrong. So
that's right. Yeah, absolutely. They'll fall out of the playoffs.
Okay. Next up then, I did put in a little break because if you're going by points per match, there's a little jump down to Stockport, hitting 1.74, Charlton Athletic 1.73, Bolton 1.67, Huddersfield 1.65. So
So-
there's a
so
little
you're
bit of a
gonna skip-
jump in points per match.
So you're skipping Wrexham and have gone to Stockport. Is that what you're doing, Paddy?
What, you want to talk about Wrexham? Cool.
Well, I
Let's
don't care.
save them for the end. Let's save them for the end. Let's
Okay,
save
well,
Wrexham.
okay, save them
Do
for the end.
Wrexham
So
at
we're
the
doing Stockport now. Where do we think Stockport's going to finish? And what do we think here about their schedule? I mean,
I think they've got an easy schedule.
they got
Ish.
five.
They've
five
actually got 5 against
five
the
top 10 teams to play.
So not super easy. It's not, super difficult.
Harder than everybody except Wycombe.
Yeah. So I can give you the rundown for them real quick. Their matches, their next 3 matches are brutal. We can see Stockport in real trouble, as far as this playoff race goes real quick. They've got Charlton at home this weekend. Then they're away at Bolton the following Saturday.
Yep.
And then they're away to us the Saturday after that. So
the only plus they've got there is that they're all 7-day breaks.
yes, they do. They don't have any Tuesday games in that run. Then they're at home for Burton. Then they're home again for Stevenage. Then they go to Exeter. Then they're home to Rotherham. Then at Peterborough, home for Huddersfield, home for Lincoln, and then their final game of the season is at Wycombe. So they got a decent little run. If they can get through these 3, okay, they've got a decent little run, but there are a couple games there at the end that could give them trouble.
But even their last 4 aren't fun, like away to Peterborough, home to Huddersfield, home to Lincoln, away to Wycombe.
Yeah. Peterborough, depending on where Peterborough by then could be safe, and it may not be. They may not be as worried about it at that point. And then you've got Huddersfield that's going to be a challenge one. Lincoln, you got to assume is going to be on the beach by then. They won't have nothing to play for, and then the Wycombe game could be a huge one. So
Wycombe could be massive.
Yeah, could be a huge game. So I think for them, for Stockport, these next 3 are going to be big.
I actually think, where do I have it? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got Stockport finishing 6th.
I'm going to go 5th.
Wycombe 3rd, Stockport 4th.
Okay.
Get off the fence.
This is fun. I'm loving this. This is good. Next up, Charlton.
I don't know about Charlton. I don't think they can last across the end of the season. But they have been keeping the results.
Just quickly, for everybody out there, Paddy is leading the footy tipping comp. So just remember that when we're all giving our advice.
Yeah.
So Paddy, back to you.
Stockport is 4th. Then it's really difficult to pick between Charlton, Bolton, and Huddersfield. I think Huddersfield is better placed to jump up a couple. So I probably expect them to get into 5th. Charlton 6th. I think Huddersfield is going to fall off.
Yeah, I think so too.
You just said they were more likely to jump up.
Bolton, yes.
Oh, Bolton, sorry, not Huddersfield. Yeah, my apologies.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that Charlton are going to finish 3rd.
Okay. Possible.
That's why I said Wycombe 4th, Charlton 3rd.
They could. They have been pulling out results. Not playing amazingly. But anything's really possible. It's so hard.
Look at their running. I've got the run. Have you got their run, Aaron, or you want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
Okay, so they have Stockport away this weekend. Massive game that. The like 4th and 5th currently on the table. Massive game this weekend. And it is one of the early games this weekend. So we'll know the result when we start. Charlton, then away to Crawley Town, home to Wigan, away to Peterborough, home to Huddersfield, away to Mansfield Town, home to Lincoln, away to Cambridge, home to Northampton, away to Wycombe, big match there, then away to us, and then at home to Burton. Now, those last 3 matches, with Burton being in that relegation tipping point, could still be there at the end of the season. Those last 3 matches could be huge. Like away to Wycombe, away to us, home to Burton.
Okay.
No graphic. What do you mean no graphics up, guys? Would you like us to put that up? I can do that if you like. So
The graphic is up.
Yeah, I guess they're talking about the graphic of who the teams are playing. But Paddy's got his graphic of the table up there, guys. So I'm not too sure what you want to see.
Yeah.
Is the graphic
Or
not
you-
on YouTube?
See.
No, it's there. It's there.
Yeah, we don't have we didn't throw the. Yeah. Oh, they didn't have anything till just now. That's weird.
That's
all
a
that-
big glitch then.
Yeah, no
Because
doubt.
it's been up in front of us the whole time.
Yeah, it's been in front of us the whole time.
This is all on Paddy's end, guys. So, please, I want you
Blame
to.
me.
I want you to send your complaints to paddy@paddypower.tlp.
Okay, they're now saying it's gone again.
Now they're saying it's gone again. That's weird. Can you see us? Are we still up? That's interesting.
Actually, well, let's try something.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. I can make an image out of it, and we can just put it up that way.
Yep. I
2
am
seconds.
going to just quickly, guys. Can you see that graphic? I am going to.
Oops. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I've got it up on my phone now. I got it
Yep.
so we can see it. Yeah.
Yes, you can see that graphic. Okay, so that's from my computer.
Okay.
So it sounds like we've got computer glitches still with you, Paddy.
That's weird.
Okay.
That's going to make Paddy very happy. Yes to Charlton matches. So yes, that's coming from me.
Okay, so for yeah, what was I getting ready to say? Yeah, they've got four against the top 10.
4 against the top 10, but interestingly enough, they've also got Burton, which is going to be in the relegation, relegation contention, like trying to avoid relegation. Cambridge, I think, will be done and dusted probably by the time they get to them. They're going to be pretty much guaranteed of being relegated, in my opinion. And Northampton and Lincoln could be nothing games. So, as well as Mansfield, although Mansfield could be down in the relegation zone pretty soon too, the way they're going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I would think Mansfield should be safe. They should be safe.
should be. I mean, they're currently on 40 points, which is only 7 points out of the relegation zone. But in their last 5 matches, they've had 3 draws and 2 losses. They haven't had a win forever.
Yeah. Let's see. Pull them up. Yeah, Mansfield.
So I think that I've got I've got Charlton in 3rd.
I've got Charlton. It's going to finish 6th.
Okay.
6th behind Stockport.
Paddy?
Sorry, ignore me for a second. I'm bringing up these.
He's fighting his computer.
He is fighting. Okay, so next up, I guess on Paddy's sheet who was behind. I will bring
So Huddersfield would be who would bring up next.
Huddersfield. Okay. So let's go Huddersfield. We'll get their matches.
Okay, you get their matches. I've got them down for Huddersfield. They also played 4 teams in the top 10 in their final run.
So yes, Charlton had 4 teams in the top 10. Huddersfield's got 4 teams in the top 10. So Huddersfield, who we just beat, have this weekend they're away to Bristol Rovers, home to Crawley, home to Wycombe, away to Charlton. That's a tough little stretch. Not Crawley, I mean Wycombe and Charlton.
Yeah.
Then they're away to Lincoln, home to Mansfield, away to Burton, who'll have a lot to play for, home to Cambridge, who'll probably be dead and buried by that time of the season, away to Stockport. That's a tough match. Away to Exeter, who could be a nothing game by then, in my opinion, and home to Leighton Orient, who may still be in the playoff run at the end of the season. But what do you boys think?
Yeah, I don't think those. I think they've got issues. They defend well. They couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo. So yeah, I think their scoring issues are really gonna haunt them. So I think they're gonna drop out. I think there's teams coming that we're getting ready to get on. We're getting ready to get on to them. I think Bolton is going to be the next team that ends up in the playoff, and that would push Huddersfield out.
Well, I think Huddersfield could finish as low as 8th or 9th.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel like they'll probably. I'm thinking 7th.
Yep.
I think 7th, probably just ahead of Reading and Orient would be my guess.
So we both agree that they're going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you back with us, Paddy, or are you still concentrating?
Yep. I drew up the graphic. This is the top half.
Can everybody see that graphic? We'll ask that now, just to check.
It's showing on my phone. I got it in the corner of my phone, so
okay.
It's up.
What do you think, Paddy, with Huddersfield? How do you think they're going to go this season?
I think they're going to lose points in the near future, and they won't be able to make it back by the time they get their players coming back from injury.
So you also agree they're going to miss the playoffs?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Oh, and John also thinks their daft owner sacks their manager before the end of the season too.
Well, if you look at my graphic there, on a points per match basis, they are currently in 7th.
Yeah.
And their points average by the end of the season is currently putting them in 6th. So based off the average required to get 6th.
So what is the reason behind the colouring in your graphics there? Is that because, like, if the yellow
because they're currently on track to earn enough points to be in the playoffs?
Oh, so tied for 6th, but they're in 7th.
Tied for 6th, yes, currently.
I see.
That would have them 7th.
Yeah.
That graphic. Yep. Okay. Fair enough. So it comes down to a for and against scenario there.
Yeah, that's where the average will move. So
it's interesting because
if it goes up, they're the ones that lose out.
Well, on goal difference, they're currently tied with Charlton with a positive 15, and Leighton Orient, who's got positive 15. But interestingly enough, Bolton's only got a positive 5 goal difference, and Reading's only got a positive 4 goal difference. So that's interesting too. That could come into play at the end of the season.
It could, and part of that is stronger defenses, that they're not losing goals. Or they're stronger attacking, they're scoring more goals, but also letting goals in.
Yeah. So, and Esteban, we're getting there. We're working our way down to Leighton Orient, who I think that might be, it's them or Barnsley that we would have to say would have to be the last one we'd even look at, in my opinion.
Well, Bolton next. Bolton will be next.
Yep.
That'll be the team that I think, and that Bolton is the team that I think we need to be watching. Bolton will be. They've got, of the teams in the top 10, they've got one of the easiest run-ins.
They've only got to play 3 teams in the top 10.
3 teams in the top 10.
Yep. You want to do their run-in, Aaron?
Yeah, I can pull it up real quick if you want me to. Unless you want to throw it up on screen, you can.
I can put it on screen. Here you go.
Yeah,
there you
go
go.
ahead. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, they've got Burton this weekend, then Bristol, then they're at home to Stockport, which would be a big game. I think they probably win that game.
Which is great for us.
Yes. Blackpool, they're at Blackpool, then at Wigan, home to Bristol. I noticed they played Bristol twice. That must obviously one of those is a reschedule, probably the Wednesday one, I would assume. Then they've got Rotherham at home. Then they're at Barnsley, which could be a tougher match. Barnsley in the top 10.
Just have a look at your phone, Aaron. Glenda saying
Yeah, we lost it again. Yeah, we did. We lost that graphic again. That's weird.
Jesus. See, it's not me.
It's got to be. No,
Is it
that's StreamYard. That's something with StreamYard.
Is it back there now?
No, it's gone, man. It's
Okay.
not there. All right, so we'll go through it. Well, sorry guys. We'll talk through it.
Issues going on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, something with StreamYard. So anyway, so then on April 18th, they've got a big one at home against Wycombe. And then it's at Lincoln, at Peterborough, and then they finish the season off home to Stevenage. So I think they're going to pick up a lot of points. They play, like I said, they've got a very good run in. I think they may just have too many to make up.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get to 4th. I don't think they'll catch Wycombe, and I don't think they'll catch us. I think they'll get to 4th, though. It may just be a little too late.
Yeah.
For them. It looks like they're going to go on a run. I mean, they're right now they're 8 points behind us. And
I've
so that puts them
I've got them in 5th.
I think they'll get to 4th, just because of their run in. They'd have to go on a hell of a run to make it to 2nd. I see John said he's got I'll pull that comment up.
Yeah.
So my best mate is a Bolton fan. He fancies them for 2nd due to the amount of points potentially dropped due to everyone else playing everyone.
No.
Which is fair. They got a long fucking way to go though. They dug themselves a hell of a hole.
How much credence can you put in that comment? Because that comment insinuates that John has more than one mate.
I mean, that's true.
Just saying.
That's true.
I don't know that's true. Yep.
Yeah. So Bolton can go on a charge, right?
Yeah.
Can we see that graphic, boys?
At least for now. I'll try and be quick.
I see it on the screen. It is on the screen
We'll keep trying, guys. We'll keep trying.
Yeah.
So Bolton have 57 points. Wycombe on 67 at the moment. They're already 10 points behind.
Yeah.
And they have to go through 4 teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to pick up 10 points on 4 different teams.
Exactly. That's my thoughts. That's why I think that.
Yeah. So they're going to be strong. They're going to push. And when the top 6 teams play each other, they're all going to lose points. And Bolton will slowly catch up. But it won't be enough.
No. Aaron did the homework here with this bit of Bolton, Reading, and Orient have all only got to play 3 games against top 10 teams coming home.
Yeah.
So this is why the table's going to get. I think it's going to compress. It's going to be interesting. In that 4th to 6th, I think it's going to get really well. Sorry, 3rd. Well, really, 4th to 8th is going to be really tight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to get real tight. It's going to be crazy how this goes.
I think Esteban wants me to go to therapy. Ken, who hurt you? Who hasn't? Esteban? That's just life. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd have to go. The thing is, they'd have to go on a hell of a run, and they'd have to hold it through the whole rest of the season. It couldn't just be a burst. It can't be a short one. So I'm not saying it's obviously it's possible, but goddamn, it'd be one hell of a run.
Well,
if they did.
besides Birmingham and Wycombe as well, no other team's really gone on a massive tear.
Orient was the only other team that did.
Yeah.
Orient had a really good run.
Yeah,
but they've lost 4 in a row now,
exactly.
and they just lost to Rotherham, so they've just fallen off. They beat us, and they fell off a freaking cliff.
Yeah, their last win was against us. God damn it.
Yeah. They're on a great form. They're on great form. Came in, played us, looked amazing against us, and I thought, wow, they're going to be dangerous. And then they just fell off a cliff.
Yeah,
absolutely fell off a cliff.
So what's that gets to? Reading. This is when it gets fun. See, we're now down. Like Bolton are currently 7, so we're out of playoff now. That with the teams we're talking about, and we're talking about Bolton making the playoffs. We've got Reading next. I mean, what do we think there? What do you got there, Paddy? I mean, they're only playing 3 in the top 10.
They could make a bit of a charge for the playoffs, but too far back otherwise. So they're definitely in the mix. They're in the group. And they're playing enough of the teams around them that if they pull those matches off, then they're going to shoot up. And this is what is going to allow someone to do a charge. If they take out, say, 3 teams who are in this top group of 8, that's going to be huge. And it's going to push that team way up.
Yep. Do you want to run through their matches, Aaron, or you want me to?
Go ahead.
I'm set up. So, well, Reading are away to Crawley Town, home to us through the week next week. And then they're home to Stevenage, away to Shrewsbury, home to Peterborough, away to Blackpool, home to Wycombe, away to Northampton, which isn't an easy match. Northampton's actually quite tricky at home. It's just not simple. They're home to Lincoln. They're away to Mansfield, so they should be winning that. They're away to Bristol, should be winning that. And their last game of the season, interestingly enough, is at home to Barnsley. Now, Barnsley are not out of it yet, but they may be by then. Or they may be, or they
right
might
in it. Yeah, they might
and
be
be
right
in the
in
mix.
It. Yeah, I think with Reading, they're just too hit or miss. You just never know with them. They can get a really good result, but then they can also drop points to a team that's like, what happened there? You know what I mean? Like it just
nice comment by Canadian Dragon. And yeah, you've done that one, yeah, Paddy. I was about to do exactly the same thing, and that is so true, John.
Yeah.
I mean, with their owner,
absolutely unbelievable. Yeah,
I'm happy for them.
Slipping into 6th would be a fantastic finish for them. And considering they've done so well in this season, that's going to give them a bit of positivity to push through the playoffs.
As long as we finish second, because I don't want to be the team that knocks them out. But not that our playoffs are awesome, but
I don't want to be in the playoffs at all.
No, I don't want to be in the playoffs either. But even if they don't make the playoffs, Paddy, I would deem this a successful season for them.
Yes, absolutely. I did not expect them anywhere near this.
No. They used to have.
They have really been pulling out the results.
All right. So all right. So predictions for Reading. I'm gonna put Reading. I think they'll finish 8th. I think I'll go 8th for Reading.
Yeah, I think I already said 8th for somebody, didn't I?
Did you? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I might have. So probably 9th for me.
Okay.
Paddy?
You are waiting for me.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 people on the show, Paddy, and 2 people have given their prediction.
Okay, Bolton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, that's fair. No, well, we're all right there, 8th or 9th. Both you boys are 8th. I've said 9th.
Yep. All right, so on to Leyton Orient. Like we said, Leyton Orient were on a blazing run. They were in fantastic form. They played us, beat us, looked amazing. I mean, they looked great. I mean, they looked dangerous. And then they lost to Bolton, lost to Birmingham, lost to Charlton, and then they just lost to Rotherham. Did anybody see the Leighton Orient Charlton game? How that game ended?
No.
They
What
were
happened?
winning 1-0 in the 90th minute. And Charlton scored 2 headers from corners in the last 5 minutes, in added time to win that game. It was
90 plus 2.
unbelievable.
Just brought it up. 90 plus 2 and 90 plus 7.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I was actually hoping for the draw because I wanted to see them both drop points.
Yeah.
And then they got the last. It was literally the last thing of the last kick of the game was that corner.
Actually, the one thing I will say for Leighton Orient, they have had a win this season that Wrexham fans can only dream of, and that was a 6-2 win on the 29th of January versus Exeter City.
Yeah, just
6-2.
They were.
Wouldn't that just be a nice thing as a Wrexham fan to actually feel and see happening?
Goals. What's goals? What are those?
And a gap between you and your opposition.
Yeah, they can be dangerous. I think they've just I think they shot their load a little too early. Hit their form at the wrong time.
Do we want to go through their remaining matches?
Yeah, we can go through. I've got them. So they play Saturday. They're at home to Northampton. Then they're at Blackpool. Then at Mansfield. Home to Stevenage, at Burton, home to Wigan, away to Crawley, home to Barnsley, away to Cambridge, home to Wycombe, and then away to Huddersfield. So there's I think is 3, right? Yeah. So they've got 3 games against the top, which are all in their last 4 games. They've got 3 against the top 10, which is Barnsley, Wycombe, and Huddersfield. So they've got a chance. They've got a chance to make up some points in the meantime. So they may get close and get into a little bit of we're in trouble. Shit. Somebody hold it.
Oh no,
we're in trouble.
We've got the keys. We're like the puppies that were left at home, and we've gotten into the cupboard and gotten it all the food, or we tore up the couch. And Josh and Dad's just walked in the room.
Yeah, we're in trouble. Hey, come on in, Dad. Get in here and come play with us.
Yeah, we want to play.
Anyway, we so yeah, they've got Leighton Orient the last 4 games of the season got 3 in the top 10. But up until then, they could pick up some points if they can get their form back, but does kind of look like they're in trouble right now. Their form's not been fantastic. So but yeah, there you go. John Merrill. See, he knows.
Absolutely. And we haven't done anything wrong. Look, it's not like we threw the frat party and tore up the house.
To be fair, we tried to get a hold of him. He wouldn't answer.
We did.
So we assume he had something better to do. But anyway, so Leighton Orient, like I said, they don't play a lot of the top 10 teams, but they do, right at the end of the season. And so we'll see. But like I said, they've just kind of fell off a cliff there. I think they're too far back to get second now. Maybe if they got a little bit of maybe if they got on a little run, they could possibly sneak in at the end, but I don't think they will.
Definitely won't make second. I think they are the one team from behind there. So I think Huddersfield's going to slip out, and I think between them and Stockport are my 2 teams that. Well, Bolton's going to get in, Huddersfield's going to fall out, and then I think Stockport's another team that could possibly fall out. And I think it's down to Leighton and Reading to try and sneak that last spot, in my opinion. And I can't make up my mind whether they're going to make it or not. But I'm not going to sit on the fence. I'm going to say they're going to sneak into 6th.
I'm thinking they're going to wind up. I'm going to go with 9th because I think I picked Reading 8th, so I'll go Orient 9th.
Yeah, I'm very much of a similar mind. They're close enough to go on a short run and break into the playoff spots near the end. The last 5 matches is enough to sneak you in there with some good results. 4 wins and a draw, something like that'll shoot you in at the last moment.
I love this. John, Orient hit form too early. They did lose to most of the top 6, but not us. They beat us, John. No need to rub it in.
Yeah. But this is where your last 4 or 5 matches, if they are weaker teams, it doesn't matter if you've lost to all the top 6. If your points are close enough, you can slip into the bottom of the playoffs.
But they've got a tough finish though too.
Yeah.
Well, that won't help them.
They do. They've got 3 of their last 4 against top 10. So
okay, so they're screwed.
But one of those matches, which is Barnsley, is their 4th last match. And if Barnsley do have a slump, that could take a bit of pressure off them in that game. Not that any game's easy, but just in that, Barnsley have gone to the beach already type mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to cover Barnsley? Do we think I don't think Barnsley can make it.
I don't think they can either. I mean, technically they can. I don't think they will either. I'm kind of.
Yeah, I don't think they will, but they're the last team I think have a shot.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I have their run in pulled up. I think they play 4 in the top 10, if I remember right off my list.
You are. Aaron knows his homework.
Yeah. I did that at work today. I actually did it I didn't know we were doing a show today. So I was bored today waiting on a robot to weld up some parts. And so I started looking at and seeing what everybody's running looked like.
What exactly were you fabricating today and for who? Because we've got to warn them that it mightn't be in good condition.
No, it's good. It's good. I was building no biggie, just bumpers for the back of a semi-trailer. So no big deal.
Yeah, because they're not important.
Yeah, no big deal.
Unless you run up the arse of it.
Yeah. It's no big deal till it is. But yeah, so Barnsley, they've got Blackpool this weekend. Then they're at home, and then they go to Mansfield, home to Cambridge, at Wigan, home to Exeter, at Birmingham, home to Bolton, at Leyton Orient, home to Peterborough, home to Barnsley, and then they finish off the season at Reading. So it's not an easy run in. They play.
Be important.
It could be that game could that literally could be a decider for the top 6. Like those two could be fighting it out for top 6. Then again, it could be nothing. It could be 2 teams
or one of them
on the bench. Yeah,
one of them could be needed to get in.
Yeah, it's I think John Merrill hit it on the head here. They just keep losing important games to teams around them. Yeah, and they're just not consistent enough. I think they're another team that's not consistent enough.
And I mean, this is the fun time of the year to do this because there's enough games left for it to be uncertain.
Yeah.
When you get down to 4 games left, it's like, oh, well, now there's only like 3 teams deciding it. Right now, there's a whole heap of different scenarios that can play out and who gets the run and who doesn't, just tough times ahead. It's so exciting. Every single game. And what I don't actually, I tell you what, back to us, what I don't like is that we have 2 games before playing Wycombe, and Wycombe only got to play this weekend and get the whole week off and are playing us at home.
Yeah.
That's going to make that a hard game for us.
Yeah.
It'll
be interesting to see. We're going to have to
rotate.
He's going to have to rotate a little. And it's just, where do you look? Okay, so there's a question. Do you rotate this weekend? Because I think the argument could be made that Rotherham's probably the team. If you're going to rotate, you rotate against Rotherham. Then you've got, because you got the midweek.
Can you?
You can't afford to. Well, you can't afford to lose anything at this point.
No.
But I mean, I think we've got. Here's the thing, though. When I say rotate, that means we say we put Macca in on the wing and Barney on the other wing. Is that really a bad thing?
It's not weak.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we're putting in the kids. You know what I mean? Like, so when our rotation is, we got a pretty strong team. We got, our second team is pretty strong.
So you would say our wing backs, we've got 4 players, right? 2 for either side right now that we're comfortable putting in. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Macca, Longman and Barney.
Longman and Barney, yeah.
At the moment, it seems to be Smith and Rodriguez up front. They're our guys, and the other guys are going to play subs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we think do we think Marriott is going to get back to starting in some of these games?
I think he'll start one of the next 2. I would be surprised if Marriott doesn't start one of the next 2. I don't know. And maybe even Fletch, because Fletch can start a game. You know what I mean? He can play 60 minutes in a game.
I don't want him starting any.
I'm against you on that.
All right.
He could.
It doesn't mean I'm right.
He could, but I want it to be an injury issue. I don't want him to be just chosen to go in.
So who do you play if you don't want to start
Fletch?
Him?
And I have to rest somebody right now. Yeah. So if I had to pull both strikers out,
and it's got to be realistic. It's got to be realistic too. It can't be we're playing Marriott and Mullen together, because that's not happening. It's got to be
I'm playing Marriott and Fowle.
There's a shit. Yeah, I mean that's.
Ollie Palmer can't play.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Ollie Palmer's eating popcorn in front of the telly. He's not playing.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be Palmer. I don't think he'll start Palmer. I think Palmer's done. It could be.
What about you, Paddy?
I think the only way Fall gets in is if he chances J-Rod in the midfield. If we've lost Dobson,
wow,
and he wants to change up the midfield a bit.
Yep.
Put J-Rod in there, because he's kind of playing that role. He's coming deeper, and then put Fall up the front with Smith or Marriott.
I think we could see. I think before you see that.
I never want to see that.
I think before you'd try him in the midfield, I think you'd see Mac in the midfield. I think he'd put Mac in the midfield before he'd put
Mac in the midfield is not as good as J-Rod. I'm sorry.
For me,
I don't know that
we'll see. Okay, so just strikers. Like, get away from your midfield for a second. I'll come to midfielders in a second for you boys. So I'm saying Fowle and Marriott if I had to pull off Smith and Rodriguez right now. Aaron, what did you say?
I think he goes Fletcher, Marriott.
Fletcher, Marriott, and Paddy?
I think he goes Fletcher, Fall.
Fletcher, Fall, not even Marriott.
Oh, sorry, Marriott, Fall.
Marriott, Fall. Okay.
Marriott, Fall.
Okay. No, that's okay. Okay, well, let's come back now to the midfield. So let's just think of 3 midfielders. And I guess right now it's Rathbone, Dobson, and Matty James, isn't it? Right now.
I assume we don't know the injury on Dobson. He came off injured.
So let's just say
I don't think there's been any update. What do you say, Paul?
Yeah, I love it, John. I love it. So if we would all agree at the moment, I mean, because obviously Cannon's gone, ruptured ACL.
Yep.
So it's Dobson, James, and Rathbone at the moment are the best 3 Parky's 3. If you're going to be rotating, resting and playing, I'm happy to see Evans starting a game every 2 or 3 games. I think he's shown he's fit. He looks good. He delivers the ball well. And I am still of the opinion, against a team like Rotherham, and I know you've still got to win, I would happily play Harry Ashfield around 2 of our current starters. So that's me. I mean, what say you guys?
John Merrill.
I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world to try it. I don't think there's a chance in hell it'll happen.
No, fair call.
But I don't disagree with the logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the logic either. I don't know. I don't think we'll see Harry Ashfield. Maybe from the bench.
Yeah, maybe. I just think he's a great starter. But yeah, you're right.
I think he's got something about him.
I missed Elliot Lee too, remember?
Elliot Lee is the obvious one.
Yeah.
That's but so Lee's gonna be playing. I think Lee, because he's been out, and if he's feeling good, he's probably gonna play all those games.
Well, even without Ashfield, there's five midfielders if you include Evans and Lee with the current starting three.
Mm-hmm.
Even rotating those 5 players around, even if Ashfield doesn't get a start, that's enough to keep those guys fresh for the whole season. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we think anybody should be starting instead of the current 3?
I mean, I want to see Lee. I think we're going to get to see what I want to see. I want to see Lee and Rathbone. We're going to get to see it by default with since Dobson's out. It'll be James. So we'll see that midfield. That's the midfield I've been wanting to see start, and I think we're going to get to see it sooner rather than later.
You, Paddy?
I think the same. I think Dobson's going to be out, and everybody's been calling for not playing James and Dobson together. So we're going to figure out if that works or not.
Yep. And remember that guy we signed, Josh Adams. Remember that guy who we signed and we've never seen.
Very cheap.
Hey, I remember somebody coming on this podcast, I won't say who, said that kid is a future prospect and everybody needs to chill out because everybody thought he was going to come in and play. And I said, there's no way we're bringing a free agent kid in that's going to start playing. That kid's for the future only. And I try to tell everybody
this season.
I remember I came on and Josh blew a gasket when I said that. You're out of your mind. Ah! He said something like that.
Should he have played by now, Aaron?
I mean, he did play. He played some of the cup games early on.
Yeah, but not much, did he?
Early cup games.
Well, but I think Parky saw what he wanted to see.
So you're saying he's not good? He's a next year player.
I mean, I don't know if he's I don't even know if he's a first team player.
Not in the championship, he's not.
Yeah, not if we go up for sure.
Okay.
But I think, see, here's the other player who did play in those games alongside him was Harry Ashfield. And Harry Ashfield played well, and he's gotten his chance, and he's gotten to play more. So I think, I think Parky saw something in him that he didn't see in the Kelly appreciated my Josh. Oops.
Try again. Do it again.
I don't know if I can do it again. That's best. You get one shot. That's all you get. Okay. Get one shot. He yelled at me when I said it. I said that, and he yelled at me. I was sitting in my truck too. That was back when I was doing pods from the truck because my internet was so bad. I was doing pods from the truck.
Those were the days. Those were the
days. But yeah, I think no, I don't think we'll be seeing any of him.
No, okay. So we've got Lee, we've got Evans, as well as Dobson, Rathbone, Matty James at the moment. And I want Ashfield starting, but probably not going to happen. And I'm not saying I want him to start all the time. I just want to give Rathbone or Dobson or these guys a break so that they're fresh. This weekend's game against Rotherham, before we have to being at home, I think is an ideal opportunity before we have to travel away to Reading, where you could bring back your first string midfield.
If you were going to chance him and you wanted to see if he could take a League One match, I would say you start him. You don't put him on the bench because
100%, I agree with you.
Parky works the other way around. He wants an extremely strong bench coming on late. So I think you risk him early, see if he can play. Worst case, take him off at halftime.
Yeah.
Plus, he has his role from the beginning. He knows all week what he's supposed to do.
Yes.
It's not this is the current situation of the game, Harry.
Yeah.
I need you to go in and do this.
Yes.
You know, he's had
This is your job. Do it.
He's had days to
This is the
prepare.
player. Keep with him, whatever task you've got. Go from the start.
And he's a threat. He turns
He
players.
is a threat.
He attacks with the ball. And we are missing that player in that spot in the midfield that I think is the key to unlocking the future of what we do and being a real threat everywhere up front, not just coming forward on the wings. And I'm not saying he's at the level to be that guy now all the time, but it's that style of player that will make the difference to our play.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. I'm with you. We may see him start. We may. I mean, that makes sense. Having if you we start him and Lee together, and you put Rathbone on the bench.
Well, imagine
he's able to come on.
You just said an interesting thing there, Aaron. And as you paused, I thought, geez, imagine if you had Ashfield, Lee, and Evans. Like all three of our current starters are resting, and to me, that's still a strong midfield.
I don't think you do them all. I wouldn't do them all.
No,
I'd do one. I'd do one. And right now, depending on the Dobson situation, we don't know. It may be nothing. He may be fine, but if he's out for any time at all, that means Lee's definitely starting. So you got to consider Lee's a starter at that point. You know what I mean? He's a nailed on starter.
Well, Lee is a starter.
But I still think Parky's starting to like Rev.
Agreed.
I think everybody's seeing Rev can be the player for that spot in the future. But I also know Parky likes Macca. And he has played Macca in the midfield. I would not be surprised at all if starting at Rotherham, you've got Seb on the left wing and you've got Macca in the midfield, giving one of the others a break. Maybe not.
Aaron's lost his marbles.
I think he'll start Macca in the midfield before he starts the kid.
Yes, I agree with that.
Because of the trust, because of our situation, he'll trust Macca more than he'll trust.
But that doesn't mean I agree it's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree
still
with that.
Very low on the probabilities.
Ashfield, but you're still wrong.
Could be.
No, look, different thing. Paddy, you got any more comments on the midfield, or do you want to go to defence?
Midfield's fine. We're covered.
Midfield's fine. Okay, so current back three: O'Connell, Max, and at the moment, the last couple of games, O'Connor.
I don't think he touches it. I don't. Those guys aren't running their balls off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know unless they've got some sort of niggly injury that's kind of bothering them or something. I don't think any of them do. I don't think he touches it. I think the back three stays. You know what I mean? I don't think he'll change it.
And
they're playing well.
Sure.
What do you think, Paddy?
I think we could see Brunt back in.
I wouldn't mind seeing Brunt. I still like what Brunt offers, especially going forward.
I must admit, I'm not super confident in O'Connor.
He had a ballsy pass that he fucked up.
Yeah.
And caused the best chance they had of scoring.
Wasn't that a terrible miss too? Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and, both Paddy and I were Scar fans against you, who was an O'Connell fan, Aaron, and me especially. But I tip my hat to O'Connell for the last month. He has been really good. And I think since he's made the decision to play a higher percentage defensive play when he's isolated and just get the ball out, he's looked even better. He's taken the pressure off himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What, Aaron, can you remember what was the contract for Scar? How long?
I don't know, but I can look it up real quick. I think
Okay.
2 years. I think 2 years. So we probably got him for next year too.
Yeah, for some reason in my head, I had 18 months, but that doesn't work because he came in at the start of
Yeah,
the
he came in.
season.
Yeah, he came in
So
the summer.
2 seasons.
Mm-hmm. John Merrill, what side is known? Is he striker? Does he like to play down the left or the right? Fill us in. I don't know anything about him as a player.
I love how people say this. You need someone with legs at the back. We don't have legs anywhere in our team almost.
No.
It's like, there's
Well,
no
Rev's
point throwing
quick.
that one at us.
Brunt's pretty quick.
Brunts are faster, yeah. But
Okay. Scar's signed till the end of the 26-27 season. So it was a 3-year.
3
3-year
years.
deal.
Esteban, he's watching. We don't need to send it to him. This is where he does his homework.
I have weekly meetings with Parky. Don't worry, Esteban.
Okay.
And he looks at everything we say and then does the opposite.
And then
that's
definitely ignores us. These guys are idiots.
No,
Okay,
we know what we're talking about. You know,
This has opened the question for me now with Scar. I think Scar is pretty much done for the rest of the season. Unless O'Connell messes up or get injured, he's not getting another shot.
I agree. If O'Connell doesn't get injured,
Yeah. So he's got a 2-year contract left. So I think we find out how much he's on. Because if he stays and sits on it for 2 years, what the hell do we do then? And especially if we go to Championship. Because if he's not trusted now for League One, Parky is absolutely not going to trust him in the Championship.
But Paddy, he's not trusted now. 6 weeks ago, he was trusted. And it's been swings and roundabouts. Like, he got his chance. And Parky's obviously decided to go back to O'Connell because obviously what Parky sees in O'Connell, he must like more than what he sees in Scar. Now, they brought him in because they thought we needed a better centre-back. And obviously when Tozer left, Scar was definitely an upgrade on Tozer. I guess the issue for us as a club is four players like that is that if we keep going through the league so quickly, there has to be quick rotation.
Yeah, but we give long contracts.
Yeah, that's the error. That's the error, in my opinion.
But it may be one of those things. You may not be able to get them without offering them the long contract.
Exactly.
That might be that could be the catch on that.
And it's not our money.
Right. Yeah.
But it is our fucking team, and if the team can't get rid of players, we could fuck ourselves.
Well, I can think of about 50 other teams across 3 leagues that would love to have had the run we've had in the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's true.
More.
Here's the thing, and we've talked about this offline. Going up this year may not be the best thing for us for several different issues. One being the contracts on the team. 2, the cop. Not if we went into the championship only being able to put 10,000 in the stadium while they're building a cop. That isn't necessarily great, because there's no guarantee we stay in the championship. You'd like to think we will, but we don't know. So, I mean, there is an argument to be made that staying down would be the better for us. Now, I'm not advocating for that. I want to go up. You know what I mean? But there is an argument to be made that going up now could be the worst, could end up being a worse outcome. And really, it probably just prolongs things. Let's say if we did go up and then ended up coming back down, or, it may just slow the progress that we're on. I'm sure Rob and Ryan are wanting to get to the Premier League as soon as they can, but
a lot of
TV
TV money. Take time. TV money if we go up.
There's definitely money, but you're also going to be spending a hell of a lot more money too. I think I saw a crazy stat. The average championship team is losing something like $450,000 a week. Losing that a week. I mean, they're losing millions of dollars. Not all of them. There's some on the, there's some that aren't. But
I have a
there's
problem
so
with
many.
an average on that. Because obviously some of the teams that have come down and got their parachute payments and stuff, they are massively hitting that and pushing the number up. So I would love to see individual teams across the whole league and see how balanced it is.
The numbers.
Because we're in a decent scenario with our incomes. But what I see next season, if we go up, we are going back to an older squad. We are going to be picking up the best free agents we can get in the league. Players that are aging out of other teams, but are still very good, that don't want to go down to League One if they have an option, that will come to us on a decent wage.
So, Paddy, let's preface this. Do you want to go? Oh, look, Aaron and I both want to go up this year. Do you want to go up this year?
I don't believe in staying down for some mythical, magical, better year. We could end up 6th next year.
So would we all agree that we want to go up this year and then the goal is to just stay up next year? Yeah,
absolutely.
Aaron, look how hard Aaron's concentrating.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at something because I knew something popped up the other day, and we were just talking about, the financials. Just like Blackburn Rovers, their turnover for the 23-24 season was 22.7 million, which I think we're probably getting that now, and probably maybe even more. So that's how much they're bringing, but they also, their underlying losses for the season were 19.5 million, and that's not building a stadium. That's not, that's just losses from, running the club and players, basically, wages. I don't know if I'm just looking at it quick. So the wages to turnover percentage was 118.7%. So they're paying, of their turnover, 118.7% was going to player wages. So they're on wages, they're outspending their
John's saying it's a wage budget that's a killer in the championship.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was just saying. They're over, they're outspending their turnover.
My argument to John would be his wage budget in League One is bigger than most championship teams right now.
Okay. But you just mentioned some numbers there that they had 20-something million turnover.
22.7 million.
Okay. And their wages were how much percentage?
Wages is
118%.
118%.
So wages are roughly 25 million.
Okay. So we can afford that and make a profit next year.
We can,
because
he says he's talking about Rob and Ron, not us.
Well, okay.
No, but if you look at our estimated revenue and then you add the extra money from being in a championship and the increase in international following when we hit the championship, playing against teams that people have heard of, that's going to be huge revenue.
Yeah. Get 1 million fans internationally, sell them all a jersey, make 10 quid a jersey.
But okay, I agree. But you've got to move players on so that you can spend that money.
Loan them.
They got to agree to it. They've got to agree to it.
No, they don't. Not with loans.
Not with loans.
Not with loans.
You can't just loan somebody out.
Yes, you can.
No, I don't think so.
It depends unless they have it specifically in their contract.
I don't think you can just loan somebody out without their consent.
You can, because they're earning their wage. They're being paid their full wage, and you get whatever you can from the other team.
I'm going to agree to disagree on that. I don't think there's a chance in hell any contract is written up by by not idiots that would say that there's no way they're leaving anywhere without agreeing. There's no way.
Chris, yeah, we did lose Callum Burton, but he's on his way back. He's back training. But
No,
anyway,
he's talking.
conversation.
He's talking about John Merrill. He's talking about John Merrill.
Oh, John,
Their goalkeeper, I think, went off with.
Okay, then I'm getting rid of it because I don't care.
Well, at some point, the club needs to draw a line in the sand, because we have been promoted so quickly between the leagues. You have to turn around to some players and tell them, you are not playing. You are not going to be in the squad list. And if you refuse to go out on loan, you're just going to sit.
But you can sit at home and post on Instagram.
Absolute worst case, let's say they have some agreement in their contract. That means you cannot force them. Then you sit them. And you draw that line in the sand. And you tell people and say, look, simple as this. We got promoted. You're getting your money and you won't go out on loan. You're done.
No. I mean, you can do that. I mean, you can sit them. You can sit them at home and pay them. I mean, they got to show up to training or whatever. You don't have to. They don't have to be in the squad technically, but you've got to be willing. As long as you're willing to pay that. I mean, that's.
Well, they sign the contracts. They're willing to pay it. They have no choice.
Well, I mean, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
as long as the money's there to do that.
See, I think the issue with the contracts in the reason you can force them to go on loan is because if they refuse, which they can do because they just won't show up, they're breaking their contract with you, and you can null and void the contract.
Yeah.
Are you reading the comments, boys? I'm leaving those there. John's comment there for you, Paddy, and then Glenda's comment. But I'm not on that one, Glenda, because I think Sam was more than happy to come to Wrexham. But
Sam, they brought here, I'll bring it up. They told him, hey, we basically how that would have worked is they would say, hey, we've got an offer for you and we can't pass it up. Like he could have said, fuck you, I'm staying. But I don't think anybody's bending over backwards to stay at Reading.
Plus, it was an upgrade for him.
Exactly.
A better team.
Right. I think it would have been surprising if he turned it down, but I think he could have turned it down.
And it does depend where you are in your career, because if you're going to be essentially dumped, come in and train. What's that going to get you if you have to sit for 18 months before you try and get a new team? Nobody's seen you.
If you're older.
Well, if you're retiring, you might have a better shot at just sitting down and doing nothing. Take your money.
That's why. See, some players may just not care. It wouldn't surprise. It would not surprise me at all if Ollie Palmer's still on the squad next year. He won't play.
Yeah, but Ollie Palmer's a bit different from me. I'm not saying that because players want to play. That's absolutely.
But because he's 33, 34, getting to the end of his game, he maybe say, you know what, I'll take this paycheck and I'm going to retire.
He's openly said though if he'd like to close out his career.
Exactly. Right.
So the trick for Wrexham with Ollie Palmer, who I don't think will ever play for us again, is there you go. Last time I said that, they started the next game. But the trick there is the club actually finding an MLS club in this case that would want to take him on.
I mean,
and he's being agreeable to it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, from what it sounded like is we had plenty of offers for him in January. After we bought Sam Smith, a bunch of clubs got into contact about Ollie, and Ollie said no. Ollie didn't want to go.
But Ollie has his clothing line.
Yeah, right.
Which is heavily linked to Wrexham.
Right, yeah.
So we don't know how much he's making from that. He could be making the same money. Probably not, but he could be making a significant amount of money keeping that company going for another 18 months, 2 years, might be big enough incentive to sit and
Well,
not
and
get
here's the
Wrexham.
thing. That's the thing. That's why, to me, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he stays next season,
Yeah.
even if he doesn't ever see the pitch, never gets registered, but he'll stay, and then he could, retire as a Wrexham. He retire at the end of his contract.
Yeah, and I was going to say
Because by then, if we're in the championship, he can use that to get even more exposure to his clothing brand. You know what I mean? The higher, the better we do, the better it is for him, probably.
that's just
Well,
it. And like Paddy, you said it. Like, and if we go to the championship, his clothing line then only becomes more popular.
Yeah.
So could be the fact that he's just like, well, I'm not going to get to play again. I'm a bench guy. I'm a training squad guy. Whereas, okay, so let's compare that to, and I'm going to use two players here as an example. I'm going to use Macca and Fletcher as older players that if we went up next season, and both have been great players for Wrexham, but I don't think either of those players should be playing in the championship next year, in my opinion. But I would love to keep Fletcher on as part of the training squad and developing strikers, because I think I've seen improvement in Mo Farr, and I think it's because of Fletcher. And Macca, God, he could just be the fitness coach. Look at how fit he is. What do you boys think?
Not I don't know. Chris, no, he's not.
No.
Nothing wrong with Palmer. He's healthy. He can play.
Yeah.
He can play this weekend. It's just we've upgraded.
He
He's probably
he
eighth
can
on
post and
on-
everything.
Yeah,
His thumbs are fine.
Yeah, he's probably eighth. Eighth on the list of strikers right now. So,
Well, Palmer has also said that he got help from Fletcher. Remember when he scored the header on the back post and he went running for Fletcher? There is talk that Fletcher is interested in becoming a striking coach. The question is, does he want to go back to Scotland and to go with a local team? Or has he now found interest in Wrexham and is it suitable for him? Someone put out an interesting idea, which is for Fletcher, if he wanted to become a coach, is to bring him into the coaching team. Don't register him for the league, but have him available as a player for the cups. And if we end up in a situation where we keep extra squad places, he's available just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting point, Paddy. What do you think, Aaron?
It'll be interesting to see what Fletcher's such an odd one. Not that he's odd, it's just that situation because he brings so much. I think if we go up to the championship, I don't think he's in the squad next season. If we stay in League One, you can make a very good argument to keep him on the squad for next year.
Agreed.
As a 20-minute guy.
If we go to the championship, can J Rod take that role?
Yes.
Okay, everybody keeps saying that. I've not seen anything from J Rod that makes me think super sub.
Okay.
That's not a knock on J Rod. He's.
So what is he? What is he then, Aaron?
I mean, right now he's just a regular player, but I don't know that. I mean, he's not. I mean, that'd be like, okay, this is going to sound terrible, and because J Rod is a better player than what I'm about to compare him to, but that would be like calling Ollie Palmer a fucking a super sub. I'm sorry.
Paddy,
sorry.
I didn't realize Josh was on the show dressed in an Aaron out.
Not. He's just not. I don't. It's not. If you're going to play Ollie Palmer, get him in the match, and let him beat the hell out of the other. Beat the hell out of the defenders for 60 minutes. Okay. If you're going to play J Rod, let him play. He's got plenty of legs. Get him out there, play for 60, 70 minutes. Let him try to do something. Those two are going to click. They're close. They
Yeah.
both nearly assisted each other against this last game. They
How
both
was-
nearly had assists for each other.
That
him and
was
Smith.
J-Rod's strike from about 30,
Oh,
40
that was a
yards
beauty.
out.
That was a beauty.
Oh, it was a bullet.
It never. I mean, it was a great strike. Never really challenged the keeper. I saw one from behind that was.
But if
It was.
if it had dipped and hit the ground just before
Yeah, if it had
climbed,
right, it wasn't. But God, it was a good strike though. I mean, it just put a little curve on it or something. It could have gave him some trouble. But yeah, he's going to be good. It's just that I don't see him as that superstar where Fletcher comes in and he can get a header. I've not seen. I don't think I've seen uh, Rodriguez even try a header yet. I don't know that I've seen him go for one.
I've seen Sam Smith try a couple, and I think he needs to get to some training.
He needs to not do those. He needs to use something else.
Interesting. Are you watching the chats here, Paddy? Because Chris has asked a couple of questions. Glenda's responded. I'm going to pop that one up.
Probably.
No, I think Chris might be talking about Cannon. Cannon would have been the recent injury that we had. That would be he's got to have surgery.
Well,
he had an ACL. He had an ACL. I'm assuming Chris. I'm assuming Chris is talking about him as far as recent injuries.
But I like this comment though, because obviously we had Marriott with a broken leg, we had Cannon with an ACL. Beginning of the season, Mullen with his back. Is Mullen done for the season, guys?
He'll be around. If there's injury,
I think he'll be on the bench sometime.
He could find his way back in.
He could potentially.
I think there's a chance we'll see Mullen before the end of the year. Okay.
Rumors in the background on that one.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Do you remember when Mullen went into the sideboards?
Yes.
Rolled into them shortly after coming back.
Yes.
So the word on the street from the in the know people have whispered that did hurt him and put him back in his recovery, and that he is back playing now, but is still requesting injections for pain when playing. So that is the reason he's not been getting in the squad. He wants to be back playing. He says he's ready to be back playing. He's fit and healthy. But it's been said he still needs injections or wants them.
Right.
So this is part of the issue with getting back into the team. And this is why you see the disconnect, because there's rumors of Mullen having said things like, I'm not injured. I don't know why that's been said. And then other issues and saying, oh, he's got an issue and he's not ready and whatever. This is part of it.
Well, I'm going to write the welcome to Wrexham fairy tale. We need a win in the last game of the season, and Mullen gets back in as a sub, comes on and scores the goal to take us up.
Good.
How's that for a fairy? There's highly probable.
I'll tell you what it won't be. It won't be a playoff final with him taking a penalty.
Oh,
fucking hell.
Paddy Byrne.
Oof.
Not the best penalty strike.
No, that was a really bad one.
I'm sorry, Mullen.
You're not sorry, Paddy.
I am. No, I am. I mean this, right? You seriously hurt yourself by stepping up as the captain of the team, our talisman, to take the first penalty and taking one of the ugliest penalties I've seen in a long time.
I like the fact that he stepped up and took the first one. I'm unhappy for him that it wasn't a great strike and he didn't score. But
it was,
two of our stalwarts of the last few years, Palmer
and Lee.
Mullen and Lee,
screwed up.
Had two terrible shots.
Yeah. I don't.
Anyway,
I don't know.
It's history.
That was bad stuff. So, Wrexham predictions. Where are we going to finish, guys? I say second.
Second.
I think we take it. Yeah.
I think we get there. I like our chances. Looking at the points we have on everybody, the run in that we have, I think even if we lose, I think we'll be able to make up any losses, down the stretch.
Yeah,
or we should be. I mean,
we do have 7 away games and 5 home games.
Doesn't bother me now.
Not now.
Right, I know. Yeah, I'd almost prefer an away game at this point.
Well, I want us to have a good win at our next home game, which is this weekend against Rotherham. But yeah, home to Rotherham, away to Reading, away to Wycombe, big game, home to Stockport. So our run after Rotherham, those next 3 games are big games.
Yeah.
Our bigger games are soon, and Wycombe's bigger games are late, besides playing us. Well, actually, I don't know. And Wycombe have got big games now and big games late. Yeah. I mean, Stockport play Charlton this weekend, but Wycombe have got some tough games around anyway. But, we're home to Stockport, away to Exeter, away to Cambridge, home to Burton. So that'll be interesting, especially if Ford, Dadbod, those guys. Dadbod hasn't played the last few games. So I don't know.
He's been hurt. I think he's hurt.
Yeah, right. Away to Wigan, home to Bristol, away to Blackpool, home to Charlton, big game, and away to Lincoln City.
After Stockport, Charlton is the only big match.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, fair.
So we have a good shot at going on a nice run to push the end of the season.
Yeah. If we're lucky, we're already up when we play Charlton.
Yes.
And that's not that wouldn't be an unbelievable thing.
Yeah.
If we were to say we win the next 2, say we draw with Wycombe. Okay.
Kone did start against Burton, John, and he did have a yellow card in that game, which was interesting. But yeah, no, we do have to, like, if we can have a good 2 weeks right now, and then it could be really good. It could be good signs for us. That's why we could lose.
Even if we got 4 points in the next 2 between Rotherham and Reading, and then we're able to draw Wycombe, I think we're still in the catbird seat. I think you're still in the catbird seat. He didn't like it, but then look at the run in though.
Yeah.
5 out of the next 3.
No, but look at them.
Got to remember,
they've only played
Stockport are playing Charlton this weekend. The 2 immediate.
If we get 4, listen. Here's the thing: if we get 4 from our next 2, we're ahead of them going into the next one.
They could win on the weekend,
which is 3 points.
Yeah,
and
so
we get 4.
Be ahead of them.
We wouldn't be ahead, but we'd be right there with them. You're right. My bad. My math's wrong. My math wasn't mathing.
This is a very interesting comment and may turn out to be true. But
I don't agree with that.
I don't either. I don't think
Yeah, it depends on what happens between now and then. If we don't get great results, as you just were saying, before we hit Wycombe, it could almost be like that we need to take 3 points off them and pull back up level with them or something like that. But if we do well in the next couple of matches before we hit them, it might not matter because we could potentially lose to them and still be doing okay.
If we win them both, we're ahead when we play them. If we win our next 2, we're ahead when we play them.
Yes, we are.
That's not because they don't play on the Tuesday.
Here's the interesting thing, right? So they're obviously only 2 points ahead of us right now. Now let's just say, let's use Aaron's scenario of a win and a draw, and let's give Wycombe the win this weekend. So we're 1 point behind them. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to take then the worst case scenario against Wycombe, and we lose. We are still only 4 points behind Wycombe, and they have a hard run home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then that's when their game against us is when their hard games start.
Yes, and like Paddy said, after we get past Stockport, I think it was, our run gets significantly easier. So, I mean, people keep thinking this Wycombe game, and don't get me wrong, I want to win it. But tell you what, if we came away from Wycombe with a draw
would be okay.
And we're only 1 point behind them, and even if we do lose it and we're 4 points behind them, I'm not giving up hope.
No,
not even close. In fact, I still think we'll run over the top of them.
Yeah, I think so too.
So,
like I said, if we win the next two, and we're ahead going into that game, we'd be what, 2 points clear going into that one, right?
We could possibly be 1 point clear if they win, or we could be further clear.
Right. Yeah. Okay. You're right. All right. So 1 point. I think we're ahead going into that game against them. I don't think the result matters at all.
Either way, it's going to be the big game of the weekend, that game. And now, Paddy's best friends could do us a favour this weekend. And
Peterborough. And what do you think? Should I actually tip Peterborough to win this one?
Paddy, I don't think Aaron and I have the right to tell you what to do with your footy tips, because
I would tip 7-0 if I was you. 7-0.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be as bullish as that, Aaron. I'd tip 6-1.
6-1. Fair enough.
So, yes, and everybody that doesn't know the footy tip channel in the Discord, if you want to jump into the Discord and check that out.
Gordon with the comment of the night here. What's the definition of an easy games in League One? There are none. There are none. We're calling them easy. We're lying. There's no easy games. That's the thing.
Good comment.
Wycombe is going to drop points against a team that they shouldn't. We are going to drop points against a team that we shouldn't.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. Everybody's gonna drop points to teams that are like, what the hell happened there? It always happens. It happens to everybody.
It's gonna make it an interesting run home, isn't it?
Yeah, it's you just don't. Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. Then again, we could win the rest of the games, and it doesn't matter. We strolled a second,
Wouldn't that be
you
lovely?
Just don't know.
We could win all their games by 3 goals.
Would be fantastic. Would be fantastic.
Now, in the lead up to today's show, guys, I'm going to put Paddy on the spot here. In the lead up to today's show, we were talking about what we were going to chat about today, and we landed on this. But one of the other ideas was a show on the new cop, and Paddy is our man. I think, Paddy, I'm going to put you on the spot to be in charge of running a show on the new cop.
Yep.
You pick the time and date, whatever suits you, and we'll check with the boss. And if he says no, then we'll just steal the keys and do the show.
Well, now that the cop has received its kind of final okay,
from the
new plans from the council, it's a good time to go back and revisit the designs.
Yep. And the second tier, that's obviously in an application that can be done as well.
Yeah. I assume they're going to put that application in during the next season.
Yeah, I would think so.
Just to have it accepted. Because you can usually get like 4 years on an application to get it built.
Yeah, I don't know what different ones are in different countries. I mean, over here, we get up to 10 years in Brisbane City Council. So every council across the world, I'm sure, is different.
Real quick, Chris, how you feeling about EOC? Talk about Ken mentioned it earlier. Yeah, he's been great. I think he's been really good lately. He's been solid. Not perfect, but solid. Nobody's been perfect though, so But yeah, I think the back three right now is playing really well. I think those three I mean, let's be honest. We went the first, what was it, 4 or something games, went without, or no, the first game we conceded a goal, but we went on a good run where we didn't concede. We had a bunch of clean sheets, and it was with this back three, with O'Connor. You know, it was before Brunt came in. So you got O'Connell, Max, and O'Connor. They play well together. They know each other really well. They know what to expect from each other, and I think they're a safe back three.
Second best defense in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you know, been really good this year. I don't have any complaints. And there's always going to be like, there's obviously, you know, last game there was the pass that could have cost us a goal. There was, you know, there's always going to be mistakes. It's League One. You know what I mean? If there weren't mistakes, they probably wouldn't be playing in League One. So I mean, that's just, you know, that's just part of it. But yeah, I think the back three as a whole has been great. I'm starting to think, because of his goal contributions, what do you guys think about this? I think that Max has a serious argument for being player of the season.
Ollie Rathbone's got to be in that conversation.
I agree. I think he's definitely in the conversation. For a while, I thought it was Barney, hands down. But now he's kind of slowed down a little bit. But he's still, I don't know if he's still the league leader in assists, but he's right up there, you know, even though he hasn't had any for a bit.
What about Ollie Palmer?
Definitely not Ollie Palmer. I mean, Josh might argue for that, but, you know, maybe
trying to keep a straight face.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Patty didn't. Patty didn't keep a straight face at all. He's like, fucking hell. It's getting late. You can tell it's getting late. Kids getting silly.
Yeah. I'm starting to think crazy. It's 11 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm 36 hours away from a cyclone hitting. So that's all good. There we go. I think
Do you guys? I got a question. So, do you guys do like cyclone parties? So, like in Florida, in the United States, we do hurricane parties. I got friends that live down in Florida. When they get a hurricane, they throw a hurricane party. Everybody comes over and they just have a bash
inside the house.
Yeah, inside the house. I mean, but
I'm just checking because it is America, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty wild. Yeah, Florida is really wild. You know, gators and hillbillies. You know, with
I did come over in a previous life. I used to wakeboard, and I did come to the World Championships in Florida at Orlando. We did one of the most stupid things ever. We went and had a training session on a lake at night. At night, and in the daytime, we could see the gators.
Yeah, you can see them all over.
But they're scared of humans.
Yeah.
Until you fall in the fucking water.
Well, no, they're more scared of humans than they are. They go up.
They are. They actually are. They're pretty scared. You get some big ones. The big ones aren't so much, but
don't worry about the alligators, and come to Australia and deal with the crocodiles.
Yeah, a hard pass there. That's a hard pass for me.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, that's different. Those are different.
Yeah, they're a beast. Yeah. But anyway, no. So, well, happy with that defense. I don't know. I think, boys. Well, what do you think? We shut it down. We've done for the day.
Yeah, that was a good show. We covered some stuff there. We went an hour and 43 minutes so far.
I feel like it was a very intelligent show today.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like there was something missing that just slows us down or something that it kind of holds us back. It was really free today. It was a good free flowing show. Like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if Dad's still in the comments or not, but if he is, we'll find out.
Well, I reckon, Paddy, you got any last words? Because we could leave it on that bombshell.
I think we have a very good shot of taking out this second place. And I don't fancy our chances in the playoff. Sorry.
Well, the mathematics says you're a 25% chance.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
1 out of 4.
So, guys,
Better odds of taking second than going to play.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
guys, once upper management sees this show, if they're truly upset, it's been nice knowing you all.
Yeah. Yeah. Paul Kelly gets it. Fired.
That's the bombshell to leave him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely,
And
guys.
on that bombshell.
We will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.